Sportsman's Adventures is presented by Yamaha and fueled by Star Trek.
I'll take a bycatch like this any day when you're going for snakeheads.
Yeah, we're coming here to do a snakehead show and we're catching bass. I like it. If that's my bycatch, I'll take it.
Not too shabby.
You know, the last time I was with Ron, we were out in the Everglades catching bass, peacocks, largemouth bass. And now, Hai, we're in here in the urban jungle, the concrete jungle, people's backyards.
Yes, sir. Trying to get the infamous snakehead.
Yeah, I never have caught one. I hope I catch one. Go, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Only a mama could love that mouth. Bringing home the snappers! Hey, look at that!
The urban jungle. Many anglers live in areas that are surrounded by concrete, with limited areas to fish. It could be a retaining pond around a highway, a canal, or just your backyard. This Sportsman's Adventures takes us to South Florida. True, there is a lot of coastline and access to great fishing spots, but what about those days you just can't get offshore? Captain Rick is taking his Pathfinder to the canals of South Florida for some exotic freshwater species. Joining Captain Rick is Hai Truong, also known as Urban Angler Miami. Hai caught his first peacock bass when he was 5, and while growing up in Miami, became a social media influencer. He started guiding out of public demand in 2010 and has become an expert on exotic species as he fishes the urban jungle 300 days a year. Another crew member you might remember is Ron Magill. He's the ambassador for Zoo Miami and another expert on both the native and invasive species that they will be encountering. One of those invasive species Captain Rick will be targeting is the snakehead. Due to their robust nature and potential ecological impact, snakehead fish have become an invasive species of concern in certain regions, prompting efforts to control their population and mitigate their negative effects on local ecosystems.
Banana or mango bread, baby.
I lost him.
No.
No, you got it.
You got him.
Oh, it's a monster! A freaking monster! Hey, get off the pressure for me?
Nice.
Get off the pressure.
Go and get up
On the board.
off the tension for me. Thank you, sir.
Oh!
Nice, spicy
Still
little
got some
guy.
kick in him.
Yeah.
Cool looking fish. Weird looking fish.
So, Ron,
Rick,
first one.
first one. First snakehead. Little invasive species here, but quite a little fighter. Not the biggest fish I've ever seen in my life, but you know what, brother? For the neophyte,
That's your
I'm a happy
personal
man.
best.
It's my personal best.
Can't be that right now. Good job,
They
man.
do have neat color on. I see that white flex thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, the
Right.
younger ones seem to display it a little bit more than the larger ones until they go into a spawn. Then they blow up with colors. See these markings here, you can barely see them now. They're kind of dormant.
Yeah.
But you see this olive color that's trying to come out, even though the sun's not really hitting it right now. But when they go into spawn, these blow up to like an emerald green, sometimes violets and hues of purple.
Well, these snakeheads are considered invasive. Now, a lot of people always ask me, what's the difference between invasive, exotic, and introduced? Basically, exotic is anything that's not native to this area.
Right.
Introduced is something that has been introduced to the area, but is not having a detrimental effect as of yet on the environment.
Correct.
Invasive is something that comes in and has a detrimental effect on the environment. For instance, these snakeheads could be overfishing fish for the native fish. They can be competing for spawning areas. They're an aggressive fish, so they're invasive because they're displacing native animals. Same thing with you talk about iguanas. Iguanas are invasive for another reason. Not that they displace other animals, but they're doing economical damage.
Correct.
To they're digging these tunnels into seawalls. They're creating a ton of damage in different environmental, destroying gardens. So you have other animals. They have some animals. There's some, peacock bass, for instance. That's an introduced species.
Right.
That's been introduced, and that's actually beneficial for the economy because it's open sport fishing, and it helps control things like some of these other cichlids that can be considered invasive.
Cool. I understand now.
You understand now, right?
Yeah.
See, there's something I could teach
know,
to Captain Rick Murphy.
with you-
God bless America.
Listen, with you being so tall and the sun behind you, it's almost like I'm looking up into the heavens and God's talking down to me.
I'm a
and
human
educating.
shade tarp, my man. A human shade tarp. That's me.
That's it. You're my human shade tarp.
Give him another slice of banana or
Mango bread,
in about an hour.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, I'm serious.
I think you're
I wasn't gonna get it. As soon
dude.
as I
That's
took about
awesome.
it, the next cast was a fish.
And I saw that cast. You were just like, hey, let me just throw this out while I'm chewing.
Exactly. While I'm chewing.
Guys, just try to keep up here, okay? The next one could be this big. Because look, I made it thick for a big fish. Yes, sir. Ron's wife, Rita, made this homemade mango bread, not banana bread, mango bread. Look at the juice. Perfect.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Rodan. Set it. Forget it. Catch more fish. Fish Bites and Fish Bites Fight Club Lures. Bajío Sunglasses. Fresh eyes for a rich life. Penn. Let the battle begin. And Startron. Start, run, store with Startron.
We got a little snakehead. All right. Oh,
How about that?
For a split second, I thought it was your hand.
There you go. Nice.
Not a huge one,
That's
but
the
we're on the board, baby.
First
Good
one
job,
for
bro.
Ricky Dicky.
You don't want to let go of your hook there. Whoa.
Oh, don't let him go yet.
So, as you can see, they're pretty swirly.
They slimy, like they got a
little
mouth
bit.
like a
They're more like a
mudfish.
mullet. More like a mullet.
Do they have a mouth like a mudfish?
Kind of, but the mudfish is a lot more blunt and more like a boa. He's a lot more rounder and very more blunt. This guy's got more of a pointier, more shovel, almost like a snook flat head, so he can sit in the bottom.
And you can't grab him by the bottom lip like a bass, right?
You don't want to typically. The best way to handle these, especially when they got a lot bigger, it's kind of like grouper. They have that. Hello. They got
Bye-bye.
that arm,
Uh-huh.
that cheekbone right here. You can kind of grab like a handle. He was a little swirly. You got him in so fast. He was super green, but I'm glad we're definitely on board. We got him slimed up. Good
Dude.
job, man. Congrats on your first one.
Well, thanks. Ready? Barely hooked.
Nice.
Cool,
Good job,
man.
bro. You got another one
that?
with a really big false eye too. Look at that. It's like stretched out.
Like on the back of an Oscar.
Yeah, kind of. A lot like it.
Just back up right there.
Yeah, these guys are a little swirly. Yeah,
So
get 'em.
show me how you grab them high.
So you can grab them, obviously behind the head like this.
Yeah.
Try to keep like their fins, so you give like a little bit of a grip.
And then there's a way you grab them by the mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of like a grouper.
Uh-huh.
You know, a grouper has that jawbone where it's kind of like a handle.
Right.
Exactly. Oh.
You need some Ricky Dicky hands, man. They won't get away with these things. You got about 100,000 miles of push poling. You want my pliers?
Man, it's not pliers. They biting. They're actually biting it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So once you get the gill here,
Right.
kind of. I don't want to lose this one. You gotta hold them like it's like a handlebar, right there. And then I usually use the edge of their eyeball as
Right.
a handle right there. And they can't bite you.
Right.
But it works a lot better, obviously, when they're a lot bigger.
Right.
But this one's a decent size though. We're getting up there about 4 pounds, 3-4 pounds, maybe 5.
Gotcha.
Definitely a couple sandwiches out of this guy.
Sandwiches. Those are edible?
Dude, that's one of the main reasons why they made it to the States, for their table fare quality.
No.
Yeah. You want to put this one in the live well for now?
No.
Okay. But it's really white meat. No,
I'll stick to
no
my
scent.
conservation
And
side.
in Asia, it's considered a delicacy, and in some parts they use it for medicinal purposes.
No kidding?
Yeah, they grind it down to a powder. Have you noticed some of the canals that we went through are inches?
Yeah.
So they thrive in dark, dank, low oxygenated waters because they can gulp air.
Yeah.
You can actually, I know people that I've seen it on YouTube, so it's kind of mean, but they'll throw them up on the shore because they want to dispatch them. They think that's the best way to do it, which obviously it's not. But then they'll feel bad at some point while they're fishing, and they'll run back. 30 minutes later, and they put them in the water, they take off like a bullet.
Yeah.
I've heard people doing it for hours, for up to 3 hours. Dry out in the sun and the grass, they come back and it takes off like nothing.
Wow, that's cool. We'll hold him right there for a second. We can watch your rod there. Let him go right here, Hai. Okay. Please, take your time. Make sure that he's good to go.
Oh yeah. He's not even moving. Second I let him go though.
He wanted to be on Sportsman's Adventure. That's why he wasn't moving.
Cool,
Hey,
good
man.
job, Rick.
Thank you so much.
Gotta get your
Yeah.
peacock. That's what you gotta do.
I need a peacock.
Maybe peacock. We'll have the slam.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Power Pole, Total Boat Control, Fenwick, Feel Everything, Murphy's Law Sport Fishing. Book your trip today at murphyslawsportfishing.com. Berkeley Prospect Chrome and Island Lures, Tournament Tackle.
There you go.
There we go, Ron.
Nice.
Ron, if I catch this peacock,
Yeah.
it's some kind of grand slam. Snakehead, a bass,
And a cichlid.
and a peacock.
Good job, brother.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, a little bigger than I thought.
How about that?
They're pretty fish too, you know that?
Yeah,
Those are
man.
pretty fish. Yeah, man.
Now,
Look at that little
we're
hook.
talking about urban fishing.
Absolutely. I mean,
This was introduced by the FWC in the 90s. One of the guys at Florida Sportsman Magazine, a guy named Biff Lampton, who was killed on Chrome Avenue coming home from turkey hunting.
Oh.
He's the one who really pushed this for the state of Florida, or for South Florida.
Well, it's great, and they serve two great purposes. First of all, it's a great sports fish. People love fishing for them, so that's an income there just from the tourism and sport fishing. But they also help controlling invasive species, some of the invasive cichlids, and keep those numbers in balance. So they're good fish, and they're beautiful fish too.
Yeah, they really are. All right, go ahead and let him go, bud.
Definitely one of my favorite fishes in freshwater.
Yeah. There are more of those in the Miami area than Broward, right, Hai?
There's a good population in Broward, but there's definitely more numbers and size in Dade.
I gotcha.
So that's pretty cool, man. Congratulations on those species.
Thank you for putting me on them.
The Grand Slam.
But just like that, because they use the boat as
it's
a
a
giant
gar.
cover.
What is a chain pickerel?
It's a pickerel.
It's a pickerel!
It's a pickerel, baby!
Grand slam!
Now that is a native species.
It's one of the very few indigenous down here.
Really?
Yes.
Holy
And
crap.
it's a pretty big one. The state record's, I believe, 6 pounds. They don't
Really?
get too big. So these are in the pike family.
Yeah.
And really cool thing about these guys,
They got some teeth on them. I wouldn't mess with that. Look at the teeth. It
they're
looks like a
kind of
freshwater
like freshwater
barracuda.
barracudas, and I'm glad you said that
Holy
because
jeez.
smell them.
He smells
yeah.
like a cuda.
Oh,
Just like
yeah.
a barracuda. They
Nice
call
color
them
on 'em, though.
chain pickerels for their
Aren't
pattern.
they cool?
Yeah, wow.
And the musky family.
Musket, pike.
Pike
I
family.
believe they're all the same.
Yeah, northern.
Wow, look at
Yeah.
the colors in that thing. It looks like it's iridescent.
Yeah, you ever smell one? Just like barracuda, Rick.
Look at
Love.
the teeth.
I
Look at
got
the teeth.
enough injuries. I think I'll keep my nose over here.
Cool fish, man.
A lot
that
of
neat?
bass guys don't like these guys, but I love them, man.
So that's the, well, you
Look
had the
how
chain
largemouth.
angry.
pickerel.
Look how angry he looks. Just
does
he just
look
looks
angry.
mean.
He does look angry, but that's a great.
All the predators down here are kind of like mean looking.
I mean, just the biodiversity in these canals alone. When you talk about urban fishing, look at the diversity that we have here.
Yeah.
I mean, who'd expect that? Fantastic.
Crazy.
Oh,
Oh,
He took off like a poundfish.
ready to go.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Peace out.
Yeah.
He liked your beat, but he didn't like me. Good job, bro.
Great, man.
Good job, bud.
Grand slam for the boat.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Ameritrail. Load, launch, relax. Berkeley. Your fish, our science. Maverick Boat Group. Makers of premium boat brands Maverick, Hughes, Pathfinder, and Cobia. The American Fishing Tackle Company. Any fish, any water. Heroes on the water. Paddle, fish, heel. And the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are.
There's a peacock, Ron. You got your own slam. Chain pickerel, snakehead, and a peacock.
And a bass. Oh wait, did you get a bass?
So the last time we were together, how many species did you catch? 7,
Oh,
right?
like 7. Yeah, it was like 7 different species. Not nearly as pretty as Rick's,
It's all right.
but still a peacock.
That's right.
Peacock, pickerel, snakehead. I got 3.
I like it.
But you're Rick Murphy. Yours is much bigger, right?
Listen, until
I'll
we
leave it at
both
that. Just leave it at that. Yours is
until we
bigger,
both
Rick.
stand up. Come on.
Here you go, buddy.
You want everything? You want to catch the bigger fish and be able to be 1.5 feet taller? So tell me about the foundation, Ron.
Well, you know, the endowment, I have a conservation endowment at the zoo. And what I try to tell people is I started work at the zoo 42 years ago, but I didn't want to work for an attraction. My whole thing is about conservation, just like what you do with the, Coastal Conservation Association. The goal is that we want our kids, we want our grandkids to be able to come out here and do this for years to come. If the zoo is the last place we can see the animals that we have there, then the zoo's failed. And I created an endowment where money is collected in that endowment. It is invested, and the money from that endowment can only be spent on conservation in the wild. Not a penny of that money can be spent on any animal in captivity or under human care. So what I do is I take, last year I was able to take tens of thousands of dollars and help spoonbills in the Everglades, help painted dogs in Africa, help the elephants of South Africa, working with all kinds of animals. So we have a moral responsibility to help protect these wonderful natural resources. So again, future generations can come out here and feel the same excitement that I felt. I'm going to give you my last saying. One of my favorites in the world. It says, life is not measured by the number of breaths that you take. It's measured by the number of times your breath is taken away. So, when you catch a big snakehead, you catch a big fish, a nice peacock bass, you're like, oh, that's what defines life, man. It's not sitting behind the remote control on the couch watching TV. It's getting outside and experiencing nature as this great earth has to present to us and feeling this, coexisting, living with the land, living off the land, and enjoying the land.
Well, we believe in leading by example. That's one of my favorite sayings.
Absolutely.
So Kathy and I want to give you guys 10,000.
Oh, God, Rick, are you serious?
Yes, of course.
Oh, my gosh.
Because we're talking about the future, ours, kids, whether it's fishing, whether it's wild. Our first experience was going to the zoo.
Man. Yeah, well, the zoo is there to plant the seed.
Exactly.
To plant the seed, to want people to get out, to learn more, to get out and experience this. We don't want you to come to the zoo and say, okay, I'm satisfied. We want to come to the zoo and plant the seed to inspire you, man, to come out here, to live this. I'm telling you, listen, I'm a guy who's been around the world, done things with polar bears, with penguins, with tigers, with lions. It's just as exciting to get out here and look at this wildlife and interact with the wildlife, release the wildlife, experience that excitement. Folks, again, that's what's going to define your life. I can't thank you enough, man. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. We'll make sure we exchange that paper.
I appreciate it, man. Again, these experiences are worth more to me than you could ever know. So thank you, buddy.
Same here.
Especially since I'm such a neophyte at this thing.
You're doing great. You don't catch a grand slam if you're a neophyte.
Now you got him. Now you got him. Get him in the water.
Oh, he's fighting way more than a snakehead. Oh, that was fun. Never done that.
Now what?
Ron, you want to do the pleasure for me?
Hold that pole for just a second.
All right.
There we go.
Hold on.
Watch that hook, buddy. Those choke cards are real sharp.
Settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. All right. Settle down.
Right in the tip of the nose.
Only the man from the Miami Zoo can be up here catching iguanas. Here.
Gotcha.
He's got it.
Look how his belly's turning bright iridescent green.
The thing with these guys is you just got to watch their claws. They can bite. This is a young male. You can tell by that big dewlap right there. They're aquatic normally. What they do is they're always found around the water because when they're predated on, that's how they escape. They dive into the water. They're great swimmers. I'm surprised he went after the bait because usually they like flowers and things like that. I think it's just an instinctual movement that he's trying to get it. But you can tell it's a male, nice green color. These high spines you see on the back like this, this is the basically the designation of the male, and this dewlap right here.
Dewlap.
Yeah, it's called the dewlap. The males get this, and when they get larger, they'll bob their heads up and down and show that thing, kind of challenging other males.
I'm so glad you shared that with me because it seems like as I've gotten older, I've got my own dewlap going on here.
The bottom line with these guys is, unfortunately, they're becoming an invasive species, not necessarily because they're hurting other species, but because of the environmental damage they're doing in the sense of they're compromising seawalls, they're digging under roads, they're compromising roads and asphalt, and they'll destroy your garden. If anybody's got hibiscus trees in their garden, you got iguanas, you'll never see hibiscus flowers. So
yeah.
Anyway, you'll see how well this guy swims away now.
I wonder if they like mangoes.
They like everything.
Drop him right here.
I'm going to put him in here so you can see how efficiently they use
put
the
him
tail.
in the middle.
They use the tail as a rudder. And you'll see once he gets in the water, he's gone, like a fish.
Hey, thanks for that education.
Always a pleasure, man. Again, urban wildlife, it never stops. It's fantastic here in South Florida. No place like it. This is the Ellis Island of exotic animals. Everything comes in here and goes out from here.
Ellis Island.
It just goes to show that no matter if you're on a bridge, a jetty, a beach, or on a boat in the middle of the neighborhood, it's a great time for a sportsman's adventure. Keep up with the latest at Sportsman's Adventures by logging into our website at sportsmansadventures.com and follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube.